Good evening and welcome to match day 1 of the group stages of the 2025 CAF Women's Champions League in Group B. Today's match will be played at the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaïla between title holders Le Tout-Puissant Mazembe of Democratic Republic of Congo against debutants ASEC Mimosas of the Côte d'Ivoire. An exceptional encounter where TP Mazembe, led by their Moroccan head coach Lamia Boumedi, arrived with a revitalized side, having replaced 8 players who were part of their championship successful run. They also stood tall in the face of adversity in defeating AS in the final of last year's tournament, a 1-0 victory in El Jadida, Morocco. But now they find themselves in Egypt, knowing that they have a target on their back. Will they be able to play up the expectations, taking on a team that have nothing to lose in ASEC Mimosas, knowing that they are not the favorites in this encounter? This match is already potentially a final for the side led by Chaka Gigi Traoré. The club based in Abidjan are led by this manager who's had a phenomenal 2024-2025 season and will look to stick to their side, to their team unity, to try and cause an upset in this opening match day. Group B, of course, the tournament got kicked off yesterday, both in this stadium and also the Right to Dream Stadium. One win came to the side from Mali Ousfas of Bamako as they defeated FC Quintet Agosto, while ASFAR drew 0-0 with hosts FC Massar in what was a thrilling encounter on this very field. That was yesterday, 6 p.m. local time. So we're just minutes away from seeing the 22 players enter the pitch in these sunny conditions and get their continental tournament started. Of course, everybody participating in this tournament knows what's at stake. Not only is there the prestige, the honor, and the glory of being crowned champions of Africa 2025, there's also a handsome prize reward for both teams that arrive in the final. The winner receiving $600,000 US. The finalists $400,000, but also a ticket to play in the first ever FIFA Women's Club World Cup, which will be taking place in London in early 2026. The winner of this Africa Cup of this CAF Women's Champions League will play against the winner of the Asian Champions League, Wuhan Janga, in a playoff round. The winner of that playoff round will then face Arsenal Football Club in London in the semi-final of the first ever FIFA Women's Club World Cup. So a lot at stake in this year's edition. TP Mazembe, who won their first ever edition of the tournament last year. They did so. Well, that victory stamped their qualification, and due to not having played any qualification matches and their domestic tournament not having kicked off yet, they actually haven't played any official matches. So this will be the first game where we'll see Lamia Boumedi showcase her philosophy and her methodology of play. Speaking to the press before the match, she said the spirit is excellent within her squad. The players are united and determined. And Mazembe is bigger than ever. But they'll have to be wary. They now do have a target on their back. And ASEC Mimosas, led by the very strong and principled coach Chaka Gigi Traoré, they'll look to have their say. And his side are motivated as ever to make an impact in their first ever continental debut. Just 2 years ago, ASEC Mimosas were in the 2nd division of Côte d'Ivoire's domestic echelons of football. Now they find themselves 2 years later gracing the pitch of the Suez Canal Stadium for their first ever Women's Champions League match. A true testament to the investment put in place by ASEC Mimosas, as well as the strategy for women's football in the capital city club of Côte d'Ivoire. They had to go through the qualification phases, that is for certain. In the semifinals, they defeated the side from Ghana, Police Ladies, 4-1. And then in the final, drew against Bayelsa Queens, 1-1, winning it on penalties. Shows sportsmanship under the bright and sunny conditions here in Ismaila. The Suez Canal Stadium is prepped for a match of very high level between the title holders, TP Mazembe, debutantes ASEC Mimosas from the West African Football Union. ASEC Mimosas player and captain Erika Nunue said it's a huge honor to be part of this team that represents Côte d'Ivoire. As we see the starting lineups, Lamia Boubedi has chosen a 4-3-3 formation. Shanice Foster, Ladifatu Dengambe, Portia Boki, Belange Nzumba. In the back line, the midfield three of Hermine Nkonda, Marlene Casaviab, Immaculate Msipa, and the front three of Thelma Atua, Giftia Sufwa, and Samuel Olua Yemisi. See both captains, Kasayav, as well as Nunue. Referee of the match, Shahinda Al-Maghrabi, the Egyptian, who's been officiating continental competition since 2021. The official photo. Video assistant referee team led by Maria Rivet and Fatia Germouni. They'll be attentive to all questionable plays and infringements. Video assistant referee was actually used yesterday. As for Siaka Gigi Traoré, he's opted for a 3-4. It's almost as a 3-5-2 in the end. But three defenders in Akisi Naomi Kwasi, Anastasia Bey, and Noura Diarra. On the wings, Aisha Fofana, Erika Rosalie in the center, Gnunue in the center, and Abua Yapo, the new recruit, on the left. Two offensive midfielders in Akisi Nadej Nguesson and Essie Mathilde Dagba, and two forwards in Ami Preska Diallo and Habibou Ouedraogo. Habibou Ouedraogo, she'll be one to watch in this match. That is a certainty. The top goal scorer in the 2024-2025 campaign of Ivory Coast with 39 goals since arriving in the Ivory Coast. She's been a lethal goal scorer. You see the camera pans on Lamia Boumedi, the mastermind behind the 2024 title of TP Mazembe. And her adversary today, Siaka Gigi Traoré, the head coach of side from Côte d'Ivoire. 22 players are on the pitch. ASEC Mimosas wearing their traditional yellow and black kits. Tout puissant Mazembe, whose male side have also made an impact in the continental scene of football. Looking to be the first side to ever defend their title in back-to-back tournaments. And we are off. The countdown to 0. And it's ASEC Mimosas attacking from right to left, but it was kicked off by TP Mazembe. last year. Tout-Puissant Mazembe's winning campaign. They got off to a blistering start, winning their first match of the tournament with a scoreline of 2-0. It wasn't all smooth sailing from then, because then they lost to Asfar 3-1. It finished very strong in the group, winning 4-0 against Aigle de la Médina. High pressure from Giftia Sifwa works out for her side as Tout-Puissant Mazembe, which translates in English to the very strong Mazembe. Club based in the city of Lubumbashi in the Democratic Republic of Congo. A lot of their preparation focused on physical conditioning. As their manager Lamia Boumedi said, the only thing that's missing was match fitness or repetitions. The domestic competition yet to commence this year, so this is the first official match. So for supporters of Mazembe, they may rejoice. It's their first official match they'll be seeing. Well recovered there, and Kasayav plays it out wide. And the captain, Bélange Nzumba, featured in the best 11 of last year's edition. Her pass towards the winger was blocked. Here she's on the throw-in now again, Nzumba. Good sense of anticipation from the other captain, Nunue. Leading by example. And through persistence, the Tout-Puissant Mazembe have picked up a corner kick. This venue that is perhaps lacking in supporters compared to the game featuring the host FC Mazar. We're loud and proud to support, aside from Cairo, here in Ismaila, for this opening match of Group B. And truly hear the resonance of the players calling for the ball. Oh, that's a good ball in. No offside for now. Oh, we were so close from the opener, but there was an offside call in the end. Had the ball crossed the line, or even ruffled the back of the net, it would have been brought back. Oh, it's a very close decision in the end. Not exactly sure if it would have been ruled for offsides. It's a very poor finish. And that's a warning sign for us, for ASEC Mimosas. Have to be careful from the set piece, which looks straight from the training ground. Everything was there except for the finish for the club from the DRC. Mimosas looking to settle in with possession, but struggling to do so in these opening 4 minutes. A lot of play taking place on this right wing for Mazembe, the left for Mimosas. A lot of work for Bélange Nzumba. Interesting dribbling from Matua. And again, be another throw-in. There's been already several of those before the 5th minute of play can arrive. Assistant referee spotted the ball out of bounds, crossing the line in height. Under the watchful eyes of Lamia Boumedi, the first woman to lead a Congolese club to a continental title. Back for more this year. Can't hide now. No longer just a newcomer on this stage. Overlapping run, pass was imprecise. Allows for the Ivorian side to clear. Good work protecting the ball, but then in the end, miscommunication with the timing of the pass. Diallo is late. Let's check her run. Long ball into the mix. Brave play from TP Mazembe, and they'll be rewarded with a corner kick. The forwards applying pressure, and it's a bit of a mishit clearance from Noura Diarra. Played so well in the West African qualification tournament. She's now conceded a corner, which was perhaps avoidable, and you've already had a taste of what TP Mazembe can serve from these positions and these dead ball situations. Interestingly done, but in the end, simple for David Gou, the goalkeeper of ASEC Mimosas. Her first play on the ball. Good challenge, and now there could be speed on the counter-attack. The two forwards of ASEC Mimosas linking up. Bit of a hopeful attempt to heave the ball towards the goal frame of Mpika Mayombo. But there was potential for more. ASEC Mimosas showcasing that the speed of their forwards can cause problems. Here's Shanice Foster. Long ball in the overlapping run. Created a little bit of confusion, which results in a throw-in. TP Mazembe experimenting, now playing on the opposite end of the pitch after so much of the passages of play were taking place on the right. And that cross was never going to threaten. Good one-touch layoff, but even better anticipation from Portia Boki. The new signing. Have to be careful though, because ASEC Mimosas' formation is causing some problems, especially amongst the back line. Looking a little bit unsettled when the four forward players of ASEC Mimosas press the ball carrier at the back lines. In an interview right before the match, Lamia Boumedi did say that she was not very familiar with ASEC Mimosas, that she was eager to discover them, and that regardless of their opponent, the goal was to win this match. As for Siaka Gigi Traoré, his responses, pre-match interview was that the key to the victory today would be who shows strongest mental fortitude. For now, his side are up to the task. They're working well towards the goal. The cross is low, and offside's called on Diallo. That was promising from the newcomers to the Women's Champions League. Oh, never mind, it was Yapo who was in an offside position. The new signing who arrived from FC Inter d'Abidjan. Inter d'Abidjan, who were the previous champions of the Ivory Coast Domestic Championship. While Aboua Yapo was there, she picked up 2 titles during her time with the club. Now finds herself wearing the yellow and black colors of ASEC Mimosas. Shanice Foster. Throw in. She'll get the ball back, the fullback. Oh, almost loses control, but does very well to recover. Mazembe shifting from left to right with ease and expertise. turned over, however. ASEC Mimosas, can they respond with pace? It's a long ball into the pocket. And then behind the back of the defenders, it's Ouedraogo, her shot. Oh, it drifts wide, but that's surely the better opportunity that we've seen in this match. And who else could it be other than Habibou Ouedraogo? Really is one to watch. Tall, strong, fast. The only thing missing there was the precision in her finish. The power was there. Perhaps just tried too hard to find that second post. No nonsense clearance there from Noura Diarra. She won't want to take any chances. Noura Diarra at the duel again, wins her duel. Captain Nunoué helps the play keep on developing. An interesting passage now for ASEC Mimosas, but expertly defended by Portia Boki, and even a better pass. Oh, we're seeing end-to-end stuff here. Chaos in the box. And finally, aside from Côte d'Ivoire, can get a little bit of oxygen. Very interesting sequence of play, which ends in a foul by Erika Rosalie Nunoué. Captain reliable, captain fantastic for ASEC Mimosas. Now to be attentive to this set piece. Good first header. Extended the clearance, but not too far out to throw in an interesting position for the title holders. They're able to work something out here. Perhaps they could get their first shot on target. Grange and Zumba. Focused look. The throw-in is perfect. Lobs her opponent. ASEC Mimosas compact in their defense. Starting to see some strategies appearing. A lot of TP Mazembe's focus is on the wing play, while ASEC Mimosas like to drive through the middle, right through the heart of the defense, exploiting the pace of their two forwards, whether it's Ouedraogo or Diallo. Oh, again, we're seeing them get on their wheels. ASEC Mimosas driving with pace. It's a direct style of football. Not too many passes necessary, but it's efficient as they've earned a corner kick thanks to the grit and determination of Ami Presca Diallo. Really held off her opponent properly within the rules of the game. Hermine Nkonda of Cameroon. In the end, she prevents the delivery, so it's proper defending, it's proper attacking. From the set piece, as ASEC Mimosas have the key to unlocking this defense. Doesn't seem so from that one, at least. Careful, but collected in possession. Mimosas. Oh, is she in an offside position? The Mimosas player attempted the chip. Wouldn't matter anyway. Her effort went off target. It was in Guesson, who was found inside of the box. Let's see what she was attempting to do there. Lob the goalkeeper, who was a little bit off her line. Difficult to execute. Again, ASEC Mimosas never hesitate to clear the ball out for a throw-in. Whenever there is a potential chance for build-up play, they take no risks, send the ball out for a throw-in. Clear instructions from Siaka Gigi Traoré. Do not allow for, sort of cuts the rhythm of the match, and allows for them to break out in pace. It also allows for ASEC Mimosas players to take a few breaths before they shift gears to full sprint, full acceleration when they counterattack. Careful, because TP Mazembe are prepared for several situations. They're a very experienced side, one that has had to go through several changes from the team that won last year. 8 players departed the club that lifted the trophy in Morocco, but they've recruited some very interesting players as well. Good movement. But blocked yet again, and it's another throw-in. Can't say how many there's been in these opening 16 minutes, but a significant amount have come from the right side as well. Oh, it's a one-touch volley. Had that gone in, that would have been one you'd frame, hang, and keep in a museum. Ambitious effort from Marlène Kassayev. The goal scorer in the final last year in El Jadida. A memorable victory for TP Mazembe supporters. A 1-0. One was enough. To defeat the team representing the host nation in ASFAR. ASFAR, who struggled to open their scoring, or failed to open their scoring against FC Mazar, the team representing the host nation of Egypt, in their Group A opening match. TP Mazembe won't feel rushed to score or even expose themselves, taking experience from their opening match on the 2024 campaign. They scored their 2 goals in that opening day victory in the second half. So with only 17 minutes left to play, no need to worry, there's oceans of time left. But ASEC Mimosas do look dangerous in the counterattacks, and they've now won a throw-in. Lots of activity from Diallo. A little bit of frustration shown there by Lamia Moubendi. Oh, she gets away. It's Yapo, the enterprising fullback, who's brought down there. Yapo. She'll pick up a free kick. Went down vehemently. See it again. Lovely bit of technique from Yapo, using her heel. The pass was never going to find her teammate, but she collected the contact, collects the foul. Lamia Boumedi doesn't seem to agree. To throw in, it's an in-swinger, but too much curl on the delivery. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity for the newcomers of the Women's Champions League. And by no means has ASEC Mimosas been the dominant side, but they've had the most exciting offensive opportunities. That's without debate, thanks to their forward Abibou Ouedraogo. But nonetheless, TP Mazembe are picking at them little by little. Perhaps start to understand that TP Mazembe's lack of rhythm in playing competitive matches. Unfamiliar. A lot of players are unfamiliar playing with each other in an official match. This is the first time they play, given that their domestic season hasn't kicked off just yet. Long throw in from ASEC Mimosas to restart play. Diallo goes to ground, but no foul. Mazembe. Oh, excellent touch, but it's a little heavy in the end. But Delma Atua showcasing her desire to make the difference through her technique. The Ghanaian, who played a pivotal role in last year's edition of the tournament. Second Ghanaian ever to win the Africa Cup of Nations, well, the Women's Champions League. Not the Africa Cup of Nations, my mistake. Clearance blocked by Nkonda, but the second one goes through. But they have to be careful here at TP Mazembe because in behind the back there was some spaces, especially on the right. Shanice Foster was committed high up the pitch. Throwing along the line, which isn't touched by anyone. So it's directly returned to TP Mazembe. It's a really poor throw in from Aisha Fofana. She's called to defend here, and Aisha Fofana is lobbed. TP Mazembe behind the back. Fofana gets a touch to it. Lurking was Kasavia. Punted upfield. Straight into the duel is Diallo. Quick throw by Yapo. Gets it back, it's a give and go. Tries to spread it wide. Misunderstanding her teammate on the opposite end of the pitch. Guesson. Now it's Foster. Foster's pass is blocked and intercepted. Kept in play beautifully. And now there's 4 players on the offensive. But again, another good defensive play. In terms of defensive interventions, this has been a remarkable showcase from both sides. They seem very prepared to deal with any kind of creation of offense. Strong duel. ASEC Mimosas' side is very dense at the center of the pitch. Several players to prevent play from building up. As you can see there, went in with too much enthusiasm there, and Guesson will pick up a yellow card. Referee Shanda Maghrabi perfectly positioned to make her decision. Spotted the infringement. The studs were showing. At that time, the trip was undeniable. Kisi Nadej and Guesson, the culprit. And a very familiar scene. Long ball towards the wing, intercepted by ASEC Mimosa player and headed out of bounds. TP Mazembe. A little bit of a desperate long ball right down the middle. But that's easy again for Nina Yadi Dabilgou. It's going to take something a little bit more complex to be the goalkeeper of her standard. There she's pressed, however. And her clearance turns over possession cheaply. Perhaps receiving some instructions from her center backs. Bit of a scuffed clearance, but on the foot race, it's Ouedraogo. Ouedraogo finds her teammate, Kwasi. Pardon me, it was Aisha Fofana. She'll pick up the free kick. Aisha Fofana just got a touch to it before Nkonda. and then shoved off the ball. Shoulder-to-shoulder contact is, of course, fine, but once the arm is detached from, it's a little bit detached, and you use your elbows to shove, it's going to be a foul every time. Another squandered opportunity. It's a shame. ASEC Mimosas not making the most of the opportunities presented to them thanks to these free kicks. And not only did they just return possession quickly, they now may be having to defend in their own box. One-touch cross. Doesn't have any power to it or any lift. Step overs. Technique, lovely. Oh, it's a shame that there's no final product on it from Mathilde Dagba. Took a few touches, which unsettled her opponent, her direct opponent, and then maybe got a little carried away. Bit of that individual brilliance that we're not seeing enough, perhaps, in this match so far, which would allow for some more chances being created. Could this pass be precise enough? Arriving like a firefighter on duty was Portia Boki. Clean defending. Much to the dismay of the neutral supporters, who have yet to see a chance being created, a real shot on target since the match started. It's a tense affair. Oh, this is good interception from Kasayev. Cross is interesting as well. But off her line quickly was Dabiligou. That pass was too telegraphed. Easily read by Shanice Foster. Mazembe committing numbers forward now. A lot of them are on the opposite end of the pitch. If we can see a good delivery at the second post, perhaps I can result in something. The pass, the cross lacked power. No real, again, the issue, no lift. Did Diallo check her run in time to not be offsides? No. It appeared to me that she had dropped her shoulder a little bit too early. Diallo noticed that a little bit in this opening 28 minutes. Diallo is sometimes a little bit too early in her runs, and it's also credit to the TP Mazembe defensive alignment, which is disciplined and well coordinated. As you see, Siaka Gigi Traoré. A replay of him giving instructions. There's space on the top. It's Aisha Fofana on the right side. Not many players in yellow and black in the box, however. Waiting for reinforcements. She does well. Oh, it's a rushed effort. And a wasted opportunity. That was a skill by Mathilde Dagba, the new summer signing. Nice little double contact, confident in her abilities on the ball. There we saw her dribbling ability, but once she was announced by ASEC Mimosas as a new signing, she was lauded for her ability to shoot from far and score goals from 20, almost 30 yards, or meters, excuse me. Bit of a difference in the measures, but nonetheless, it's from distance. That may be a solution in this match, given how few spaces are allowed inside of the box on both ends of the pitch. ASEC Mimosas doing well to stop the delivery. TP Mazembe frustratingly committing a foul. They're doing a good job, ASEC Mimosas, in frustrating the defending champions. preventing the quality final pass to be distributed. But for a side of ASEC Mimosas standard, of TP Mazembe standards, they must be a little bit disappointed with how this opening 30 minutes have gone. No foul there. Shahenda and Magrahabi will stop play, however. Aisha Fofana hasn't gone back up to her feet since being on the wrong end of that challenge. There it was shoulder to shoulder, so in my opinion it is the right decision. But then in the end, the arm does extend quite a bit. Could have perhaps been a foul on looking at that second angle of the replay. But according to the interpretation of the Egyptian referee, Magrahabi, there was no foul. And these stoppages allow for the managers to motivate as well as readjust, perhaps even share some insights with what they've seen, what's gone well, what's gone a bit less well. It does look like it was a harsh shove on Aisha Fofana. That initial replay didn't seem so, but the last two have shown that Aisha Fofana was shoved down to the ground. ASEC Mimosas are the first Ivorian team to compete in a finals tournament held outside of Côte d'Ivoire. 2023, Atletico Abidjan represented Côte d'Ivoire as the host nation, but they never got out of the group stages. The 2024 edition, it was Inter d'Abidjan that were qualified through winning the domestic championship, but didn't get out of the qualification group. Instead, it was the Edo Queens. And now, throw in another one. Very familiar position. TP Mazembe. Can they break the deadlock from this throw? Zumba is headed on. Still alive, the ball. Goalkeeper will have to intervene. She does well. Tabigu with authority. Flung herself into the air. She did well because hanging right behind was Salma Atua. Pardon me, it was Gifty Asifwa. Both Ghanaian forwards. Throwing along the line. Intercepted high by ASEC Mimosas. The Actionnaire. Where can the creative spark come from? It's perhaps here. At least there was a little bit of an ambitious dribble there to win some space. The captain, Nunue, came to clean up the mess, and in doing so, made contact with one of the DRC players. Pressing from Ouedraogo. Top goal scorer in the Wafu B qualification tournament summer. Finished the tournament with 3 goals. She was tied with several other players from Bayelsa Queens. Finished in the final, but didn't win. Good covering. ASEC Mimosas. Can they build from the back? Instead, they'll put the ball out of bounds. And it's the top goal scorer, Edward Raugo, who picked up a knock in a challenge. Oh, her knee making contact with the opponent, Immaculate Msipa. Quite painful on the instant, but those types of contact injuries can feel better as the match goes on. Abraisha Fofana is down again. In a lot of pain, but she received studs. Be the second time she gets medical help in this first half. Saw the clearance. Yeah, she did receive the studs. It was Hermine Nkonda's right boot that makes contact with her right foot immediately after she clears. Gets a good scrape. That is indeed quite painful. She's back on her feet and oh, it's not a throw and they concede now. It's a dead ball situation from a corner kick. Will be arriving from the left. Really needs to be an applied delivery. It's taken short. Foster, too cute in her dribbling attempt. I was never gonna fool a defender in that position who's alert. Head-to-head contact. Oh, that is not a good outcome. Two players going for the ball and both fully committed. Chantal Maghrabi, the referee, took no time to call for both sides of medical teams to make their way onto the pitch and check on the players. From the initial reaction, seems like it was... Ooh, yeah. Clear head-to-head contact between Oloa Yemisi and Anastasie Gbehi, the defender of ASEC Mimosas. Oloa Yemisi, we haven't seen too much of in this match. The Nigerian forward wearing the number 7 for the DRC side. She signed in the summertime. She seems okay. And we see a supporter who's also looking to be quite happy to be here at the Ismaila Stadium. Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaila. And play will resume. It's the side from Côte d'Ivoire, tasked with putting the ball back in play. Strong defending from Shanice Foster. Sending it right back to where it came from. Played along the line on the right side of ASEC Mimosas, but again, Mazembe solid at the back. Nice little roll of the ball and through the skill. Can they get the second pass? That's what ASEC Mimosas has been so good at in this opening half, just preventing TP Mazembe from going to the end of their inventive play. There are ambitions amongst the defending champions, but it's a lot of credit has to be given to the yellow and black side. They've cut the source of danger for most of this match, but now a little bit of a dangerous back pass. Fortunately for the Ivorian side, Nina Dabigou was far enough off her line and makes a clearance. See it again. Shoots in, coming back from an offside position. Oloa Yemisi. Didn't anticipate that the long ball would be coming in her direction. She has to improve on her positioning, especially in a match as tightly contested as this one. The long ball solution could be the one. Mazembe struggling to really combine and link up and really create danger. Wonder what will be said at the halftime. Good defending from the captain, Nzumba. Outstretching her right leg and just preventing that pass from reaching its destination. Well, Lamia Boumedi deploy her players differently at the halftime. She may have to deal with this very dense and compact midfield put in place by Siaka Gigi Traoré. As for their defenders, they've been overall quite serene. Just more that they've not been able to transition from defense to offense enough for this match to be really considered a spectacle. Good interception from Foster. She's growing into the match, and there's spaces on the left, but if we can resume what this first half has been like, that play does it all. Good defensive play, interesting first ball, and then when the killer pass had to be sent, with the killer dribble, it's snuffed out by ASEC Mimosas. There's perhaps space behind that midfield line. A lot of space between the midfield and the defense of TP Mazembe, but good recovery from Marlène Kassayav. Will we see a shot on target? We do. One of our most threatening moments of the match. It comes from the left foot of Abibou Ouedraogo. The 42nd minute. So we had to wait about 42 minutes to see Frisiane Mpika Mayombo make a true save. Again, the final ball. A little bit of a do you handle it or do I handle it moment between the two defenders, but it's managed. Cutting out the long ball. Lots of assurances. Portia Boaki, the captain of the Ghanaian national team, who joined the club ahead of this Women's Champions League. Player of her experience and caliber. It's a true asset for Tout Puissant Mazembe. And although they've conceded perhaps the clearest of opportunities, Tout Puissant Mazembe do have some confidence in their build-up play, just lacking a lot of execution in the final ball or the pass to the final ball, which in return offers a psychological boost to ASEC Mimosas, offering them belief that perhaps they can upset the title holders. And we could see, look at this, the run was great from Nunue. The intention to find Aisha Fofana was there, but more defensive expertise. It's been a defensive showcase from both of these sides. Bit of a mix of very good defending and perhaps less than excellent attacking in these opening 45 minutes on match day 1 of the Women's Champions League. Of course, ASEC Mimosas new to this tournament. TP Mazembe new to playing football this season. So it's a bit of a discovery session. Just TP Mazembe have that championship pedigree in their DNA, accumulated as recently as last season, but nonetheless there are certain things that are just etched in the heritage of a club, and winning the Women's Champions League in Morocco last year will do that. Shanice Foster. 2 minutes of added time. We're already 30 seconds into it. Not a very happy camper, Damien Boumedi. A few things that surely she'd like to see corrected in the second half, and I'd like to see her troops execute a lot better on the offensive end. For all the throw-ins that they acquired, they were not exactly making the most of them either. For ASEC Mimosas, they look like they are quite well drilled. Defending. You can hear the coach, Siaka Gigi Traoré, repeat again and again, 1-1, 1-1. Seems as if they've designed positionings and plays. That time the clearance goes straight into the path of a TP Mazembe player. That's a good ball. Great cut as well. This is much better from TP Mazembe, but in the end, it's squandered. And now ASEC Mimosas, Diallo's run is offsides. Seems as if Ouedraogo isn't. She has space. She's going to cut on to the left foot. On her duel, the shot is blocked. And eventually, she was in an offside position. But very disappointing because Amy Presca Diallo, that's one of her main flaws that we've seen all throughout this first half. Look how far offside she was. There's no way you're going to allow for your team to progress offensively if you're always running offsides before the play can develop. And that's all for the end of the first half. Shahinda El Maghrabi, the referee, calls for an end. It's been a more or less cagey affair between two teams, discovering each other, discovering this tournament. For TP Mazembe, you could perhaps feel the lack of match fitness and match repetition. As for ASEC Mimosas, the hungrier side perhaps, and also the one more prepared, but lacking in that last an offensive touch. Both sides lacking offensively, but also showcasing their defensive strengths throughout these 45 minutes. Not much for the goalkeepers to do on either side. And it'll be interesting to see how both managers make adjustments and go for the victory. Because one thing is for certain, none of these teams look content with the draw. Both have sensed that there is a window of opportunity to be seized, and 3 points up for grabs in this match day opener of the Women's Champions League. In this opening fixture of Group B of the Women's Champions League between title holders TP Mazembe, they opted for the long ball approach and weren't the most successful in these opening 45 minutes, but nonetheless, Dabilgou made the save there. It was the newcomers to the tournament, ASEC Mimosas, that were dangerous in their counter-attacking plays, exploiting the pace of their two forwards, with Raogo's shot dragging wide there, didn't threaten the frame of Frisian and Pika Mayombo. Another example of this long ball approach, straight down the middle, which wasn't so successful. Bit of signs of frustration from TP Mazembe as they were struggling to deal with the midfield density and the compact defense of ASEC Mimosas. Winning the ball up high, however, Marlène Kassayev, her cross wasn't met. And off her line quickly was Yadi Dabilgou. One of the better opportunities perhaps fell to the feet of Raogo, who on her left foot at the 41st minute let the ball fly, and the power was there, but she didn't choose a post. And then Pika Mayombo safely into her gloves. And finally, a chance that would be called back for offside, but Raogo again showcasing her speed, her hunger to go forward. And in the end, that was it. A very cagey affair in these opening 45 minutes in Ismaila at the Suez Canal Stadium. TP Mazembe, the title holders, lacking perhaps some match fitness, also struggling to deal perhaps with several of their players having to be changed from their title campaign last year.
Premier. Continue.
No, from Namibia.
Welcome back to the second half of this match day 1 encounter of Group B in the Women's Champions League. If you missed out on the opening 45 minutes, it was a very choppy affair, a match where the defending champions, TP Mazembe, who showcased perhaps that they haven't gelled just yet. In the summertime, they lost 8 of their players that won the trophy with them last edition. And also their domestic championship hasn't resumed. So perhaps they're having to gel through this match. But they have a formidable adversary in ASEC Mimosas, who, it's a side that know each other well, have focused on team unity, and were able to even create the better of the opportunities in the first half. But nonetheless, still 0-0, all to play for, anybody's game. And if history repeats itself, TP Mazembe, in their opening match of the 2024 edition of the Champions League, one which they ended up winning, they scored both their goals after the 60th minute. Oh, is there a handball inside of the box? Calls for it. Vehement calls for it. Of course, as a reminder, there is video assistant referee, so that will be reviewed. Strong display of physicality from Diallo. She has to pass properly here. It is a good ball. Defending even better. Stelmatua. And then gets a firm boot to heave the ball up the pitch. Good give and go. Perhaps there has to be a little bit of an update in the approach play of TP Mazembe compared to how they did in the first half. There was a lot of long balls, and whenever they were in a position where the player on the ball could deliver the key pass or the key assist, it would be blocked. Belange and Zumba. Heated discussion with Maghrabi. Let's see upon the replay there. There was a clearance right into the arm of Nguesson. But the arm was glued to her body, so difficult to call penalty. But I can understand why TP Mazembe was so adamant in their penalty calls. Just getting the foot before her opponent was Hermine Nkonda, the Cameroonian midfielder. She's been at the club for quite a long time. And there's the first booking of the match. It's for Nguesson. 47th minute. She goes into the book. Nadège Nguesson, the Côte d'Ivoire Youth International. The initial cross is batted wide, but Shanice Foster on the offensive. Her pass lacks precision. The Jamaican played her youth football in the United States in college. Now giving new life to her career in the DRC. Gets a good head to the throw in to play it out of bounds. Not pressed for time, Aisha Fofana, to put the ball back into play. The inside of her right foot, Aisha Fofana sends the ball along the line. Very engaged defending in these opening 4 minutes between both sides. Fofana, a bullet of a throw. She has power in her arms. Aisha Fofana. They're rewarded for their efforts there, TP Mazembe. And they escape that. Well, they make sure that the play doesn't develop further. Risky on her in her box. Yazid Abigou. Aisha Fofana plays the ball out of bounds. As one of her teammates struggling with a knock. Grabbing her left foot. Replay will give us more answers as to what happened there. It's a similar incident as we saw in the first half. It's a classic case of receiving the studs on the foot. It's very painful. TP Mazembe will make the most of the throw-in, which was given to them. At least attempt to, through Shanice Foster. Foster's throw, it's high. Shahinda Al-Maghrabi, Egyptian referee, calling for an infringement, saying that Samuel Oluwayemisi committed the foul. Yeah, just got a little bit of space by nudging Fofana with her arm. That isn't in the rules of the game, and it's the right decision. TP Mazembe wearing their white and black kits. Their iconic colors. This is better from TP Mazembe. Good work. The cross is great. Oh, lingering was Oluwayemisi. But before it could reach the intended target, rising into the air was a ASEC Mimosa defender, and then there was a clash. In the aerial challenge, head-to-head collision yet again. It's Diarra, yes, indeed. It's Diarra and Msipa clattering in together. It has been a physical match. Very engaged duels between these two teams. Physically, I have to say there's no disputing it. These are two sides that are prepared for a tournament at the highest level. Tactically as well, they seem quite evenly matched, which is why we're at 0-0. These are, as a reminder, this is the Women's Champions League, so it's the cream of the crop, the best of the African continent. ASEC Mimosas, the champions of the Côte d'Ivoire Championship of the 2024-2025 season. They finished with the best attack, the best defense, the three best goal scorers. As for the tout-puissant Mazembe, they qualified via being champions of last year's Women's Champions League, defeating ISFAR. Now, chance here on the touch is heavy, but in the end, the goalkeeper makes a mistake. Finally, she's not punished for her mistake. Nabil Gou. Poor perception from Samuel Oluwayemisi. She was perfectly served in the space, on the run. She tried to, seems as if she was keen on dribbling the goalkeeper, but maybe should have gone for goal instead. And we're yet to see a shot on target from the tout-puissant Mazembe, but that was one of the cleanest build-ups that we've seen from the DRC side this entire evening, well, afternoon. With Raugo, in the few instances where she's been involved, she's looked dangerous. She's had a phenomenal goal-scoring record. Cross, it's in between the defense and the goalkeeper. Well controlled, and the pass is deliberately into an area where there was a lot of Mazembe players, but now they've gifted a chance on her left foot. Oh, it's squandered. It's a bit of the story of this match. Squandered opportunity after squandered opportunity, and then the second half, it's one aside. There was Aboa Yapo. She never really looked right on her footing. Or was it Dagba? Oh, the ball bounces favorably. And chasing was Kasayev. Noura Diarra extinguishes the danger, only for now. We're seeing a lot more openings in this second half than we did in the first. Some individual errors which are allowing for some excitement in this match. It's a shot from distance. Great generation of power behind the shot. The body positioning was excellent, but perhaps she was just a little bit too, well, much too high, obviously, but really put everything behind it. Just caught the ball too much on the underside with her boot. Shanice Foster. Clean defending from Portia Boaki. All the experience of the captain of the Ghana national team. She's not helped by her teammates. Hermine Nkonda will pick up a yellow card, so it's one apiece. Nkonda getting carried away and ASEC Mimosas were afforded a few chances from the set pieces in the first half, but weren't able to capitalize or make their opponents pay. And that's another example of a missed opportunity. Scuffed cross, but it's all right. TP Mazembe keep on possession. Zumba. Long searching ball. It's ambitious. Works out well because it gets to the end of on the left-hand side. Mazembe finding success with their long ball strategy now. It's an interesting pattern to play. Very strong challenge though, and timely from Aisha Fofana. Through ball. It's a foot race, which was won by Ngombe. With Augo. Never really got her feet together and slips. Manager Lamia Bouemedi urging her team to commit players forward. They can't compromise their balance nonetheless. Kasai, one-on-one with Yabo. And the danger is gone fully. And after an interesting sequence of play, which had quite high tempo, seems as if TP Mazembe are content with starting from scratch. Another long ball headed out by Fofana. It's an impressive showing for ASEC Mimosas in their first ever Women's Champions League match against TP Mazembe, the champions, or the defending title holders. Of course, TP Mazembe aren't the same team as last year. Many of their players now competing in Europe, the Americas, South America. Oh, that's a great pass. TP Mazembe, can they get the opening goal? Oh, it's a save off the line. Last-ditch defending, but it's not over yet. And Zumba. It's cleared, but doesn't have much distance to it. And finally, Dabilgou can collect. And that save off the line is celebrated like as if it was a goal, but for Lamia Boumedi's players, they're getting closer and closer, showing their teeth. Le tout-puissant Mazembe. And that'll rock the core of ASEC Mimosas, who, just as I was saying, were impressing by their solidarity, their union, their motivation, their mental. But there they were beaten and exposed. Great build-up play from the defending champions, Mazembe. And they showcased that they have it in their arsenal, they have it in their toolkit, the abilities to play into the openings. It's a shot from distance. Oh, it ricochets off the bar. Unbelievable. What scenes. It was Ouedraogo with her left foot. Oh, the game is starting to open. Another shot from distance. Body on the line, which now prompts the referee, Shahin El Maghrabi, to put a stop to play. And who else could it be than Abibou Ouedraogo? Let fly from far. Cannons off the crossbar. And she had the goalkeeper Mpika Mayombo beat. And this is the play on the other end of the pitch. Thelma Tua beat the goalkeeper as well. But was it a cross in the end? It seemed as if it was heading into the direction of Gifty Asifua, but dominant defending from Noura Diarra. And Asifua really put everything to block that shot. Pardon me, it's Thelma Tua. Thelma Tua, who played for Ghana's Jonina Football Academy. Involved in so much. So ball's returned to ASEC Mimosas after that little stoppage of play. But what a thrilling affair this is turning out to be. Much different intentions and much different outcomes than in this first half. What we're seeing now, Oluwayemisi getting on her legs, dribbling with pace. In the end, runs into Debilgou. Too much of a heavy touch. Mimosas not wasting any time playing forward. The long ball and the Route 1 approach. As we've often seen, they often have 3-4 players ready to attack at any moment. Ouedraogo. She's a difficult client to deal with, Abibou Ouedraogo. Tall, powerful, and can let fly from distance. Ici, Nadej and Guesson. Ball goes out of bounds as the camera pans on Portia Bouaki. Nominated for CAF Player of the Year. Quick reactions from ASEC Mimosas, but then perhaps trying to hurry the play forward too much. It's a choppy midfield battle. No side really able to retain possession. Both. Every time there's a ball played forward, there's a contested duel. Not much room for error. The controls have to be perfect, the passes have to be great, or else they'll be intercepted just like there. But the tempo has really picked up in the second half. It's been much more of an enjoyable spectacle with chances created, something to cheer about for supporters of both sides. Of course, both could be a little bit disappointed that they haven't found the back of the net just yet. But there are signs that the opening goal could be coming soon. And you can hear Siaka Gigi Traoré yell again and again and again, 1-1, 1-1. Believes that it does have resonance amongst his players after every set piece. Measured clearance. TP Mazembe's forward. Immaculate Masipa. From Zimbabwe. It's a poor free kick. It's a good ball in. Ouedraogo, great control, and the finish is there! ASEC Mimosas break the deadlock! It's about time! Abibou Ouedraogo was knocking on the door, and she just broke it down. ASEC Mimosas in their first ever Women's Champions League match are stunning the tout-puissant Mazembe. And it's thanks to Abibou Ouedraogo, her movement. How could she be forgotten inside the box? Nothing that Frisiane Mimpika Mayombo could do. And Ouedraogo, who scored 3 goals in the qualification tournament, gets her first in the Women's Champions League final stages. The pass, it's perfect. Portia Boaki forgot about Ouedraogo. And with her left foot, it's sweet, it's sumptuous. It's a delicious finish. Poked into the back, into the bottom corner. The pass too, perfectly weighted. ASEC Mimosas, you could feel we're starting to develop, and all it did was come from a free kick, poorly dealt with. And in the end, it's the tall, the strong, the decisive, the cool and collected Ivorian forward, Abibou Ouedraogo. And look what it means to the team. Bench clearing celebration. Abibou Ouedraogo, fantastic finish. And her side are up 1-0. And now TP Mazembe have all to play for now. They must expose themselves a little bit more. They can't keep playing the way that they have if they are to find the equalizer, but this is dangerous. And Diallo has intercepted. She's won the ball back. Can she wait for her teammates? Muscled off expertly well by Ladifatou Ngombe, who makes up for her misread of the trajectory. Those two forwards, Ami Preska Diallo and Abibou Ouedraogo, are difficult to deal with. And Lamia Boumedi, the Moroccan manager of the tout-puissant Mazembe. Can she look to her bench? Does she have substitutes that perhaps could flip the game on its head? There needs to be perhaps a real change in philosophy, because right now, ASEC Mimosas, their game plan is working very well. Of course, this wouldn't be against the grain if TP Mazembe weren't to win their match. The only defending champion to start with a victory was Mamelodi Sundowns in 2022. They defeated Bayelsa Queens 2-1 in that edition, but if not... Oh, Diallo, she gets the favorable bounce. It's a long touch, too long. But Ami Preska Diallo determined to leave her mark on this match as well. The number 11. clearance from David Gou. Oh, misread completely. And that's perhaps something that TP Mazembe needed. Can they capitalize on a mistake? And they've won a corner kick. Noura Diarra, who's been well positioned from the very first minute, the number 4 center back. A woman of the match in the WAFU B final qualification game. Well defended. ASEC Mimosas can break out with a little bit of pace too. The pass is well dosed. Attempt to go around her opponent. But Captain Zumba responds well and sends a good ball in herself. That was great from Bélange Zumba, the captain of TP Mazembe. Part of the Women's Africa Cup of Nations squad, the Democratic Republic of Congo this summer. Shanice Foster. Long throw it into the box. Very vocal, David Gou. Could hear her shout at the top of her lungs that she was on the ball. She got it. And now from a psychological point of view, it's very difficult. There's a space for Diallo. Oh, the pass was much too powerful, excuse me. Much too much behind the pass. Had to be a little bit less weighted. But if not, the spaces are opening up for the forwards of ASEC Mimosas in spades. More and more of these opportunities are presenting themselves as TP Mazembe commit their players forward. Be surprised if ASEC Mimosas wouldn't procure themselves one more quick break opportunity. And from, as I was saying, from a psychological point of view, it's very difficult to manage a lead than it is when you're tied. You need that sense of character to not break, to not play with fear. There was a handball. Manager Lamia Boumedi not happy with that decision. Can understand why. The arm was completely glued to the body of Atua. Not sure that was warranting of a foul. Nonetheless. Side-footed clearance. Too much vehemence in that challenge from Aisha Fofana. Sassifua, who's in the defensive sequence. In a defensive position, really. The forward having to check back all the way into her own area. This was the earlier chance where Diallo pushed the ball too far. Perhaps under pressure from the second center back who is coming to cover. Good control. A lack of coordination between Oluwayemisi and Immaculate Msipa. And that'll just allow for David Gou to clear as far as she can out into the throw-in. It's a trend we've seen so often in this match as ASEC Mimosas do not fail to put the ball out of bounds whenever they sense any inkling of danger. It's the captain who's going to be coming off. Bélange Zumba gives her armband to Marlène Kassayav. And it's Glory Edet who's introduced. The number 19, who is a new signing. Former player for the Bayelsa Queens. And Hermine Nkonda also exits the pitch. She makes way for number 16, Kalebane Olakwana. The South African midfielder who was part of this Champions League winning squad last year. Oh, it's good header right in the nick of time from Preska Diallo. She has to be better with her touch. Diallo, the finish lacks, and she gets the last touch on it, so there's no corner kick. Great save from Mpika Manyombo. The goalkeeper of TP Mazembe stayed brave and stood tall until the very last moment. Didn't fall to her feet early. Charged at the right time, and Preska Diallo waited for her angle to be completely closed and shot straight into the chest of Mpika Manyombo. Good goalkeeping from the goalkeeper who celebrated her birthday 3 days ago. Unfortunately, if the result were to stand. Let's see, however, number 7, well spread out. Excellent defending from Aisha Fofana. The tackle. She had the wherewithal to realize that to her right was a player in the open space, but Mazembe insisting on the left-hand side now. Shanice Foster's delivery cut out, and it's going to be another corner kick. If the result were to stand, it would further emphasize that there is a curse for the defending champions in their opening matches of the group stage. Cross. Oh, she doesn't ensure it, the goalkeeper. No foul. TP Mazembe, can they get a shot on target? If they do, the goalkeeper's out of position. Doesn't find the target. It's Gloriette, the substitute who just came on, who skies her effort. Let's see this again. Dabilgou, the goalkeeper, coming to claim the ball, but it slips between her gloves. It's another change, a third substitution. It's going to be Wivine Makasi to come on for Immaculate Msipa. So that'll be all from Msipa, the Zimbabwe captain. Not the most memorable performance from the number 11. On for Vivine Makasi, who is one of the youngest players on the pitch now. Just 19 years old. Oh, it's misread, and ASEC Mimosas can profit from it. It's Dagba. Dagba is going to try to count on her pace. Her shot had power to it, but it's a good save from Mpika Manyombo. Doesn't spill the effort either. Make sure she captures it. And then clears really quickly. Grace Edet calls that perhaps the ball hadn't gone out of bounds before Grace Edet touched it, but nonetheless. The throw in for TP Mazembe, followed by a foul committed by the side from Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Lubumbashi to be specific. TP Mazembe. His preparation for this tournament came with some challenges. The shot goes wide, but the Congolese Women's League has yet to start, meaning the champions headed into this tournament without any competitive match rhythm, and you could feel it a little bit. In the second half, they turned up the gears, and just when they perhaps were looking to settle into the game offensively, they were punished. They also lost major players. So it's not exactly the same TP Mazembe that we saw in the 2023-2024 edition. As for ASEC Mimosas, this could be a landmark result. The first time, aside from Côte d'Ivoire, appears in the Women's Champions League outside of their home country. It's the first time ASEC Mimosas appears in a continental tournament. They came in with the motivation to play with their values, which were solidarity, working for each other, discipline. The road to qualification was difficult as well. They made it to the semifinals, but punished the Police Ladies of Ghana. And then the final beat the Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria. They have to defend here. Glory Idet, the former Bayelsa Queens player, her throw-in. It's defended well. Just 10 minutes left to be played in this opening group stage match of Group B. For now, ASEC Mimosas could be shocking the continent, shocking the football world, so the women's football world, that is, by picking up 3 points against the recent winners, or the most recent winners, the defending title, the defending champions. And they haven't even made a substitution yet. Siaka Gigi Traoré, it's his first time coaching women. Well, not his first time, but ASEC Mimosas was his first job coaching women. He said he's really learned a lot from it, the experience. What he's developed here with this club from Abidjan is special. Counting on the two forwards, Abibou Ouedraogo and Ami Preska Diallo. They've stretched TP Mazembe's defense more than once. They've won the midfield battle overall as well. But be careful, there's still 10 minutes left to be played. If TP Mazembe have that championship pedigree, that never give up mentality, they can perhaps reverse this deficit. And something great can emerge for the defending champions. But as things stand, they're staring at an opening day defeat against a valiant side. Les Actionnaires, they're going forward. Oh, it's a scuffed pass, and long ball in. This time the goalkeeper, David Gou, doesn't make any mess. It's a very clean corral of the ball. Fofana struggling to clear her line. And very characteristic of this ASEC Mimosas women's team, clears for a throw-in. First substitution for Siaka Gigi Traoré. It's number 19, Nguesson, who picked up a yellow card in this match, but played to her fullest extent. And the young 19-year-old put in a very good shift. She makes way for number 21, Yasmine Timité. TP Mazembe trying to force the issue through these throw-ins, but it just seems that they weren't prepared to exploit ASEC Mimosas via the throw-in. Seems as if the element of surprise of ASEC Mimosas was too great. They have to stay focused here, ASEC Mimosas. That's primordial if they are to hold on to this win. Foster's shot. Oh, it had a great trajectory on it. They're teasing more and more of their offensive prowess, but... And the final substitutions to be made by Boumedi. She's throwing the kitchen fridge, the kitchen sink, so to speak. It's Gifty Afua who's going to make way for Elena. And Samuel Olua Yemisi, she also steps off the pitch. In favor of Rosemary Adesina. So Rosemary Adesina and Elena Obono onto the pitch. Elena Bono. So completely reshuffled team of TP Mazembe. 5 substitutions on. Could one of them make the difference? The goalkeeper, so much authority in the air, Dabilgou. You can hear her screams resonate around the Suez Canal Stadium in Ismaila. When she's about to collect the ball, rings in the ears. And then she follows through with composure. Good shot there, Siaka Gigi Traoré at the bottom of your screen. Giving firm instructions. On the run there, it's the substitute Timité. Unable to prevent the ball from going out of play for a goal kick. TP Mazembe have to speed things up here. They don't have unlimited time. Just 4 minutes, a little bit more than 4 minutes before we get to the end of regulation time. There weren't that many stoppages in the second half either. Fofana reads it well. Elena, she's stopped. And just as I said, a bit of the curse of the commentator, I said there weren't too many stoppages. Referee Shahenda and Maghrabi. Put a halt to play as Anastasi Gbehi went to ground. The Ivorian international, who was part of this very solid and compact 3-woman defense of Noura Diarra, Beyi, and Kwasi, all playing in front of the assured Dabilgou. Dabilgou showcasing why she was the best goalkeeper of the Wafu B qualifications. Diallo. Oh, she's relentless, Diallo. And in front of the referee is fouled. Rewarded for her efforts. She's run non-stop this afternoon. Ami Preska Diallo. Sometimes her runs were offsides. But she is definitely an issue to deal with for defenders. Makes life so difficult. Can Essimati Dagba, the new signing, arrived from Sekala Sport, provide quality. It's played short. Aisha Fofana, back to Dagba. Doesn't pan out. Too complicated. ASEC Mimosas let an opportunity to score a second goal float away. Very disappointing showing from Lamia Boumedi, especially taking into account her pre-match statements. But maybe it's a good learning lesson for the defending champions as well. Can't underestimate any opponent, and also the fact that they haven't been able to train or haven't been able to compete in any official match competition this season. That is also a factor, certainly. Forcing her way through, trying to break this armor of ASEC Mimosas. Shanice Foster, good 1-2. At the back post, number 14, an amazing lunge into the air from Dabilgou. She's done it time and time again this match. She's been exemplary. Nina Yadi Dabilgou. made contact with Rosemary Adesina on her way down, and now Fofana's dealing with cramps, it seems. So 2 players of ASEC Mimosas on the ground. Yeah, did receive an elbow from Adesina, but wasn't deliberate, wasn't malicious. But she ensured her duties. Nina Yadi Dabilgou did just about everything she needed to do to pick up a clean sheet, helped by her defense as well. Noura Diarra, Anastasia Bei, Akisa Naomi Kwasi. It's been a formidable performance from ASEC Mimosas. As for TP Mazembe, they just didn't have the quality in the final pass, the final shot to do enough to score this afternoon. This was a good cross, but in the end, Dabilgou was just too good for that. 4 minutes of added time indicated by the officials, but with 1 already being spent on injury. You can imagine there'll be 40 seconds more or less added on beyond the 4th minute. Free kick in favor for TP Mazembe. And the medical team will be back onto the pitch. Elena Obono. Another clash of heads, was it? And Bei. See. Oh, that one looks very painful indeed. The back of the head of Elena Obono straight to the face of Anastasia Bei. Oh, that's a nasty clash. Perhaps the most painful of them all. Right at the end of the game too, when fatigue sets in, perhaps the muscles are starting to get a little bit tired. Gives us an opportunity to look at the deciding moment of this match. Abibou Ouedraogo's goal, perfectly served by Abou Ayapo. Her touch, her control, bringing it onto her left foot, and then finishing, pointing to the crest of ASEC Mimosas. They weren't favorites going into this match. Oh no, she may not be able to finish the match. Anastasia Bei. These are scenes that we do not want to see ever. Anastasia Bei having to be rolled off the pitch on a makeshift on a stretcher with wheels. Oh, that's not good. So ASEC Mimosas playing with 10 women. This would be an ideal moment for TP Mazembe to score, take advantage of this numerical advantage, or make the most of this numerical, superiority. The ball sent in, it's scooped up. Adesina can't control it, and now can they break with pace? It's a goal scorer with Ouedraogo. She checks her run a little bit, slows down the speed of her run, and then gives it away. "50 seconds away from the minimum of 4 minutes, but of course with all the stoppages there surely is going to be more." Good read from that ASEC Mimosas defender with Ouedraogo. Oh, good fake. Tricky feet from Ouedraogo. The last touch comes off an ASEC Mimosas player. I believe it was Timiche. No, excuse me, it was the captain, Gununue. Foul in favor of TP Mazembe. They won't have too many more opportunities. They need to be clinical. That's the key word. The next play or two has to end into the back of the net. If not, they're going to leave the Ismaila Stadium with 0 points. The defending champions, TP Mazembe. Can they create some magic? Oh, the touch gets away from Makasi. She was in the space. Elena dispossessed. We must be seconds away from the end of this match day 1 encounter in Group B. ASEC Mimosas are gonna end on the front foot. Diallo, one-on-one with the keeper. Diallo! Oh, she misses her one-on-one. She was under pressure, but Amy Presca Diallo had the goal in her feet. And instead, the touch got away from her. Wasn't offside. Her acceleration comes late, but then it's great. And then in the end, no contact, of course. No calls for penalty are warranted there. Just a missed opportunity for Amy Presca Diallo. Oh, that would have been, what an end to this match that would have been. Would have been very cruel for Tout-Puissant Mazembe. But it would have been the icing on the cake for ASEC Mimosas. We're now making this change. It's Mariam Diawara coming on for the injured Anastasie Beyi, who's watching helplessly from the bench with ice on her face. Diallo back on her feet, realizing that she's given it her all this match, but the final touch got away from her. No contact with the goalkeeper. Well kept and well played from the goalkeeper, actually. Pika Mayombo. Oh, but there's video assistant referee. Is there a penalty? Well, that would be surprising. The referee Shahindan Maghrabi receiving information in real time from those in the VAR room. No penalty, and that's the end of the match. ASEC Mimosas upset the defending title holders, TP Mazembe, here in Ismaila at the Suez Canal Stadium. History made. ASEC Mimosas in their first Women's Champions League match pick up the 3 points, courtesy of Abibou Ouedraogo, but it was a team effort. All 11 players that were featuring until the 80th minute. The 2 substitutions by Siaka Gigi Traoré also played their part. An unbelievable second half followed a solid and compact first half. As for the Tout-Puissant Mazembe, led by manager Lamia Boumedi, she made 5 changes to try and unlock a situation, but they couldn't. The defense was too compact, too solid, and Lamia Boumedi's players, who perhaps lack that match fitness rhythm, are already down and are with 0 points after match day 1. This does carry on with the curse of the defending champions. In the last 2 editions of the tournament in 2024 and 2023, the defending champions were defeated. The Mamelodi Sundowns lost 1-0 to FC Mazar in 2024. ASFAR fell 2-1 to Ampem Darkoa in 2023. And now it's TP Mazembe who lose 1-0 to Les Actionnaires. ASEC Mimosas go 1-0 and held firmly, and it was deserved as well. They played their game to the fullest. They stayed solid. They cut the rhythm when they needed to. They accelerated when they had to. And they scored thanks to the precision and the right movement of Abibou Ouedraogo. And quite frankly, it could have been more than 1-0. But in the end, doesn't matter. It's 3 points and a step closer towards reaching the knockout stages of the Women's Champions League. What an outcome. Who would have seen that coming? The favorites, TP Mazembe, surely going into this match undone by a valiant and mighty ASEC Mimosas. Player of the match, without surprise, is Abibou Ouedraogo. So TP Mazembe will be back to play against Gaborone United in 3 days' time. Later in that day, ASEC Mimosas will play against JKT Queens. But in just an hour, Gaborone United will take on JKT Queens at this very venue. So stay tuned for that as well. What a performance she had. And collecting the women of the match is the cherry on top.
de remporter ce premier trophée?
Ouais, très satisfait, ça fait plaisir, ça fait vraiment plaisir.
Et comment est-ce que vous allez célébrer?
Avec le groupe, c'est simple qu'on l'a eu, donc on va le célébrer ensemble.
Alors qu'est-ce qui est prévu pour le prochain match?
On va se concentrer, la bataille n'est pas encore terminée. Il nous reste 2 autres matchs, donc on doit aller jusqu'au bout.
D'accord, beaucoup de courage.
Merci beaucoup.
Which coach?
The first one available. Let's start with.
Both of them are available. Okay, start.
Yes. Juste une seconde, on va commencer avec.
And now as we see how things stand in the group, well, there's a mistake here because Tepe Mazembe are on 0 points as they've conceded. ASEC Mimosas have 3 points plus 1 goal differential. And here's the rectified table. Thank you to the production. ASEC Mimosas on 3 points plus 1 in the goal differential. And yet to be played, which will be following soon, is Gaborone United versus